Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Today is October 28th, 2020. Today we are continuing on our Unit 3 multiplication. Inside of your math journals on a new clean page, please pause the video here and write down the title that is underlined, Continuing Multi-Digit Multiplication by One Digit. So it's multi-digit by one digit multiplication using area models. So pause the video, write down continuing multi-digit by one digit multiplication using area models. Your objective today is you will learn how to multiply using an area model. Yesterday we started our practice with the area models, and today we are going to continue practicing your area models just so that you all know exactly what you're supposed to be doing for those area models. So what does it look like? An area model are used to solve multiplication equations with multi-digit numbers. It involves using the expanded form of the numbers. So write the two-digit number in expanded form. So here we have our 65 times 3. The 3 is going to be placed on the outside of the rectangle, and the 65 is separated into its value by 60 and 5. Again, just follow along here. This is a review of the notes that we took yesterday. Then the very first step is you're going to multiply 60 by 3 and that put the answer of the partial product in that first box. Then you get 180. Then the next step is you multiply 5 times 3 and your partial product answer will go into the next box, which is 15. So then you take your partial products and you add them together for your final step. So 65 times 3 is going to give you 60 times 3, which is 180, and 5 times 3, which is 15. When you add them up, your answer is 195 for the final answer. Here's another example. So here's our larger number. You have 2,113 times 4. So then we're separating the value of each digit. So it would be 2,100. 13 is separated into one set of tens and 3 sets of ones. You're multiplying all of these values by 4. So your first box would be 2,000 by 4, which is 2 times 4, and you add 3 zeros for 8,000. Your next box is 100 times 4, which is 1 times 4, 4. Add 2 zeros for 400. Then you have 1 times 4, which is 4. Add your 0, which is 40, or 10 times 4, which is 40. And your last one is 3 times 4 for 12. Now, the next part that you would have to do is take those digits. Remember, I do not want you lining them up horizontally. What I would want you to do is write your 8,000 and line up the 400 underneath, and then your 40, and then your 12. And when you add them up, then you would get that total of 8,452. What I saw the mistakes happening yesterday was we weren't doing the multiplication correct, or we weren't lining up our digits and adding up correctly. Some of the digits were not lined up. So remember, when you add, your digits have to be lined up vertically into their place value homes, and then you add. So we're going to be practicing that today. So here is a first example of a we do. So I just want, in your journals, I want you to write down the first equation, which is 1,924 times 2. So then we're going to separate the values. You have 1,000. So write that in that first area. Then 900, which is 900 in the box. Then you have 20, and then 4. And we're going to multiply all of these values by 2. If you have not created your rectangular area model, make sure that you do so. In the first pink box that we have here, in your first box, you're going to multiply 1,000 times 2. I like to rewrite it so I can see it in the equation. So if I go 2 times 0, I have 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. And again, 2 times 1 is 2, and you add your 3 zeros. The next one is 902. So you write 902. 9 times 2 is 18. And I add my 2 zeros, so add your 2 zeros there. Then your 20 times 2 is there. You're going to multiply 2 times 2, which is 4. And then you have your 0. Then you have your last one, which is 4 times 2, which is 8. Then again, the example has it horizontally. You're adding 2,000 plus 1,800, then 40, then 8. So I'm going to start with my biggest value, and I'm going to add them up. So again, you need to line them up vertically. So you're going to write 2,000, clear and neat, take up space, 1,800. Make sure your digits are lined up. Then 40, then 8. So if I drew lines, all of those values would have their homes, and you add. And I'm going to go ahead and extend my lines on down if I need to. So then I have 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 8. I bring down my 8. 0 plus 0 plus 4, bring down my 4. Then 0 plus 8 is an 8, and 2 plus 1 is 1. So my answer is going to be 1,848. Pause the video here and check your work and make sure that you have done everything as your example in your journal so that you have something to refer back to. All right, here's another one. I want you to pause the video here and see if you can do this one. So copy down your area model and copy down 266 times 4. So pause the video here and see if you can do your area model and separate out the values and check and make sure that your work is correct. So you should have had 266. So 266. So each one of those homes has their own value. You're going to multiply each one of those by 4. So again, this is 200 times 4. So 2 times 4 is 8 plus 2 zeros. This one is going to be 60 times 4, which 6 times 4 is 24. And you add a 0. And the last one is 6 times 4, which is 24. So you're adding 800 plus 240 plus 24. And again, no more horizontal adding. So you're going to have to write your 800 plus your 240 plus your 224. And you're going to add them up. And you're going to have a 4, a 6, and 8 plus 2 is 10. So your answer is 1,064. And again, this is just a review of what we were working on yesterday. So your next is your exit ticket. Next is your exit ticket. I want you to try to work these two problems. And again, I have them on Google Slides. So you can actually type in those blue boxes and the pink and the orange and the green boxes. So they will be on your Google Slides for your number 2 for today. Wednesday number 2, it is a Google slide for multiplication. It's your exit ticket. I want you to do these 2 first and let me check them before you do the independent work, which is actually the grade. So this is your exit ticket. It's just these 2. I just want to make sure that you're doing them correctly before you go to the independent work. And your independent work is this last slide right here where it has 1, 2, 3, and 4 as your independent work for today. Again, those, your exit ticket and independent practice, are both on Google Slides. So you can type into the boxes for your answers. But remember, on the adding part, you're going to have to use a scrap piece of notebook paper and add them up vertically before you get that final answer. Your final answer for all 4 of these is going to be that last and final blue box. So you're taking your partial products and adding them up for the final answer or final product. If you need to refer back to the notes, rewatch it, pause videos as you need to go. So your next step is your exit ticket and then your independent practice. And I'll be checking in with you guys shortly if you have any questions. Good luck.